Bruh, if I'm the Memphis Grizzlies, I'm pissed at Marc Cuban and the Dallas Mavericks for being such a good business owner and a good businessman in general. So let's just break this down. This is a lot to put together and put this shit to you guys in video. Here's what happened. Here is 3 through 5 in the NBA draft in order. Atlanta Hawks were number 3. Memphis Grizzlies were number 4. At number 5 were the freaking Dallas Mavericks. So all draft period, pretty much, we have been hearing that Michigan State's for Jaren Jackson did not want to play for the Memphis Grizzlies. He wouldn't come work out for him. He didn't want to send no medical records over to him. He didn't want to play for the Memphis Grizzlies. So the day of the draft, that changed. He told people around Memphis, you know what? I don't mind playing for Memphis. I don't mind playing for the city of Memphis. Here's why that's a factor. When that happened, the Dallas Mavericks started thinking, oh wait, if Jaren Jackson is going to play for Memphis, maybe the Memphis Grizzlies have options now. Because originally they were going to have to trade out of that pick. Maybe the Memphis Grizzlies might keep their pick. So after we heard that, we heard that the Atlanta Hawks were not sold on Luka Doncic right now. They didn't want a guy who's going to come in and get them a lot of victories next year. They want that slow build. So those two things took place. So now the Grizzlies got options and Atlanta doesn't want Luka Doncic. So the Dallas Mavericks are like, yo, can we get Doncic at 3? So Marc Cuban calls the Atlanta Hawks. Who do you guys want? They want Trae Young. That's who Atlanta kind of zoned in on that day, the day of the draft. So now Marc Cuban is like, dang, the only thing in the way of us and Luka Doncic, because we know if the Memphis Grizzlies have that pick at 4, they're taking Luka Doncic. That's who they wanted from the beginning. The only thing in the way of that happening is the Memphis Grizzlies. Us and Luka Doncic, who Marc Cuban wants. He believes that guy's a star. He wants to put him in the backcourt with Dennis Smith Jr. The only thing in the way is the Memphis Grizzlies. What do we do? So they find out a few minutes before the Memphis Grizzlies, well, actually before the Atlanta Hawks are on the clock, they find out that the Grizzlies have made it in their mind they want Jaren Jackson unless Luka Doncic's on the board. So now Marc Cuban's got to put together something to kind of screw the Memphis Grizzlies. So he tells the Atlanta Hawks, who are looking to tank, who are looking to get better, who need more picks, more young talent on the roster, he says, yo, you know what? If we flop 3 and 5, we want Luka Doncic. Y'all want Trae Young. Let's flop these picks out, right? And we'll give y'all our #1 pick next year. We're going to be young. Dirk Nowitzki's retiring. We're going to be bad. So y'all can have our first round pick next year. Marc Cuban screwed the Atlanta Hawks as well in a way, because I believe with Luka Doncic and Dennis Smith Jr. in the backcourt, they're going to be better than a lot of people expect. They might mess around and make the playoffs next year. So now you got Atlanta sold on getting Trae Young at 5 and getting a pick next year. So Atlanta drafts Luka Doncic for the Dallas Mavericks. Then the Grizzlies look up and they have no choice but to draft Jaren Jackson. Now again, they were going to draft Luka Doncic if he was available at 4. Put him with Marc Gasol and company. They might have even traded Mike Conley. So Marc Cuban screwed the Memphis Grizzlies, who wanted Luka Doncic. At least if you're not going to get Luka Doncic, if you're Memphis, you should have traded out of the pick. I'm not sold on Jaren Jackson. I'm not sold on the kid. He averaged 10 and 5 at Michigan State last year. He wasn't the best player on Michigan State. Now you want me to draft him at 4? I'll do another video on him. But Marc Cuban screwed the Memphis Grizzlies, and he got the guy he wanted. And I'm telling y'all, man, this is why people are not sold on the Memphis Grizzlies ownership and the management group there. That's terrible. You got screwed. You got to come together with some type of plan. If you're Memphis, what I would have done is just forget it. I'm on the clock at 4. I'm drafting Trae Young. Marc Cuban knew. Because think about it. If you draft Trae Young, the Mavs pick is off the table. That trade they got is off the table. All Memphis had to do was draft Trae Young at 4. Now that trade is voided. But Marc knew, heck, they made that trade when Atlanta was on the clock. Marc knew that the Grizzlies were going to they were going to draft Jackson. Bad management by the Memphis Grizzlies, man. Cannot happen. Unacceptable. You need guys. You tank for Jaren Jackson. I'll do another video about that. Marc Cuban wins, and Atlanta gets the guy they want. Dallas gets the guy they want, and everybody wins but the Memphis Grizzlies. That's what happened.
I want to salute you, homie, you know, for building your own thing and doing your own thing, creating your own platform, your own website.
I got one life to live out my dreams, and I'm giving this thing